Last year, he sold $350,000 on Amazon. This year, he's aiming for $1 million in sales. On his first product, he got scammed by a supplier for $16,000. In this video, I talk with my friend Taz Ahsan, who you guys might know or you might not. I hope you enjoy this video. We give a lot of good tips for beginner Amazon sellers and for advanced sellers. So watch it all the way through. There's a few very good tips around minute 6 or 7. So make sure to stick around till then, and yes, enjoy. What's up? Welcome back, guys. Sam Brax here, and I'm with Taz Ahsan. Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it.
That's how you say it. So you probably know Taz, or if you don't, you probably know his voice because he has a podcast about Amazon FBA. But if they don't know you, who is Taz?
So let me give you the quick kind of 2-minute about my story. So
Speak up.
I started retail arbitrage in January of 2017. That was my start. I had a friend who was selling on Amazon, showed me these crazy numbers on doing retail arbitrage. I said, tell me how you did that.
Yeah.
So I got him to teach me. I immediately started doing retail arbitrage for a few months. Ended up doing like 27,000 in revenue in my 3rd month, and I thought this was amazing. But the interesting thing with me is that I still have a full-time job. So I was living in Boston at the time. I had no car, so I was taking Uber pools and Ubers and renting cars on weekends, driving around all of Massachusetts to do retail arbitrage. And it was fun, it was really exciting. I learned Amazon, but I knew there was something more. So I did wholesale for a while too, but I knew I wanted to build a brand. I knew I wanted to do private label, so I jumped in and I sold my first private label product in September of that year. And that was that. I never looked back, and I've just ever since then been building my brand and wanting to grow and have a 7-figure exit. That's my plan. And during that journey, during the early parts of it, I knew I wanted to share it. I wanted to help other people to learn about Amazon and hopefully build financial freedom for themselves. And so that's why I have a podcast. I want to share that, provide some value, and just help as many people as I can.
Nice. So have you had any, like your first product did well, obviously?
Well, my first product I did sell out of, but then I had a supplier who ran off with $16,000 when I tried to reorder. And on that first product as well, I got a patent claim. No, so I got a copyright claim in the first 2 weeks. And so the first product didn't go as well as I'd hoped. Okay. But it's all a learning experience. So I'm grateful for having had those things happen, because it tested me mentally and it made me realize how much I did really want this and how much I actually really wanted to build a business. Because a small piece of advice is it's not going to be easy all the time. You're going to have ups and downs. As everyone knows as an entrepreneur, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. And it was always on the up initially, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to launch. I launched, and then it was an immediate down because I got taken down by Amazon. So you have to really know why you're doing this and what you want to create, and just keep pushing through, and you're going to get there.
Yeah, and that situation where your supplier scammed you and ran away with the money, I feel like a lot of people are scared of that before, their first time sending money to China. What's your lesson from that? How do you avoid that?
So firstly, I didn't use Alibaba Trade Assurance. So
you did not?
I did not. Okay. And at the time, I don't know if that was a thing that you could have with every order, or or whether my supplier was actually part of that and could do it. So that was my first mistake. My second mistake was I only had one contact with the supplier. I didn't have multiple contacts. So now I have a tree of contacts, at least 2 or 3, where if someone doesn't get in contact with me, I can contact someone else, and I can contact someone else to find out what's happening. Oh. Because ultimately what happened was they scanned me over for a time, but they actually just disappeared. Yeah. And then I eventually got most of my money back, but they just didn't contact me for 2 months. Okay. Because something had happened, but because I was contacting that one guy who'd left the country to go do something, I had no other way to contact them, and no one contacted me. Okay. So I just thought I was scammed, and I got most of the money back. But just have that tree of contacts with the suppliers, so you have other avenues to contact them. Okay. Or do trade assurance.
Yeah. I actually just talked to one of them. I haven't thought about getting more contacts.
What happens when that one person disappears?
So yeah, I know, exactly.
And or if that one person, there's labor turnover. I've had many times. It's happened to me 3 times now, where my main contact leaves the company. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh crap, I have to learn a brand new person now. Yeah. So now I have their boss or a couple other people. So if that does happen, I don't have to go and train them again and everything. They do it.
Yeah. Okay, so where are you at now, if you don't mind sharing in terms of figures with your
Amazon? So in 2018, I did 350,000 in revenue, and now I'm sitting at around 35,000 a month. my target this year initially was 810,000. It's a very specific number. I have a plan for how I want to get there. However, when I came to this event, this amazing e-com hub summit, I had to up that to 7 figures. So I'm getting.
Is that something that you actually want, or is it just comparison?
I think it's something I want, because I just felt as though my plan was just a plan that wasn't really pushing myself too hard. Because in my very first year, I said I wanted to do 1 million, and I didn't launch till, you know, I launched one product when I thought I was going to launch 7. And I had these stupid, crazy high goals, so I kind of recentered, and maybe I went too low. So now I'm just like, okay, well, I definitely can triple my revenue, I believe, in this year, and I have a product roadmap to do that.
So you're still working your corporate job?
I am still working my corporate job.
We actually did a video with Anthony Bui-Tran, who had a similar story where he started with arbitrage from college, started corporate, but then quit corporate to pursue Amazon.
Yes.
If you want to check that out, I'll link it in the description below. Go watch it. But why have you not quit your job yet?
So a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is that I get a good 6-figure salary from them, and they're getting me a green card. So those are the 2 main reasons. So I'm from the UK, and to stay in the US, I need a green card, and they're applying it for me. However, the other thing is I really enjoy my job, and it gives me so much flexibility. I can travel, I can work remote, and it lets me take way more risk in the business. So one of the things that happened in my first year was I'm super ambitious. I leveraged myself out by $85,000. And for a period of time where I was making no sales, I had to pay back $4,500 a month. And the only way I survived was because I had the personal income to do so. If I didn't have a job, I would have screwed myself, and I'm not actually sure how I would have handled that situation. But because I had that fallback with my job and that consistent revenue coming in, I can take bigger risks in the business. And also, I don't have to take any money out of my Amazon business.
Which is amazing.
All of my money goes back into the business, goes back into inventory, and so I can grow as aggressively as I want.
Yeah. So for the average person watching, or from what you've seen here, what's some tips that, you know, are some people are really missing, or that can help someone?
I think we spoke about this on the panel. I was on the panel here at the Ecom Hub Summit, and a couple of the big ones, the first one that everyone was talking about was product research. And I still think I get it wrong sometimes myself, and it's just effort, right? It's going that extra mile to really figure out what someone wants, actually properly testing your products. I don't know how many people who get samples just like, oh yeah, okay, I think that looks good, instead of actually using the thing more than once. And something that I wasn't doing. I was just like, okay, well, I think that's probably gonna work. Even now, I have some products, and I'm negotiating with a supplier on a new product, and I'm like, no, I need to send this and show me, does this work correctly with all of these things? Like, does that, because I'm trying to anticipate how a user's gonna feel and the potential questions or issues a customer's gonna have beforehand. And what I originally did was just do the numbers and figure it out. If the numbers work, do it. But now I'm way more, well, the numbers have to work, but this is the real thing. This is someone's gonna buy this thing. So you're making a connection with someone. So think about how they're gonna perceive the product, not just, okay, it's gonna be profitable, I can get an order and it's gonna be cheap, fine, let's make it work.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest one. The other thing I spoke about was cash flow. Cash is king in this business. It's a super cash intensive business. People don't really talk about that much. It takes you about 2.5 months really from when you've launched to actually get any money back from Amazon.
Any money. Yeah.
Any money, right? So you have to have enough. And I usually say, I'm a bit more on the cautious side, and I say for whatever your first order is, have that ×3 in your bank, just to make sure that when you do launch and you put that effort into running a launch and maybe giving away some products and whatever it is you're doing, spending on Facebook ads, you can maintain that velocity. And so when you know it's going to go well, you can place that reorder. You have the cash. You're not just sitting there on a great product and then not being able to reorder.
Yeah, that's a very good tip, and that's something that I've struggled with a lot, and a lot of people that I met have struggled with. It's like, my product's doing so well, but I can't keep up. Like, what do I do? So this video is going to be called something like 6 figures as a side hustle while doing corporate, something like that.
Yeah.
What do you think, how do you think you're able to do that? Like, what took it from just one product for fun to something real?
So I had a vision for it, for sure. I knew I wanted to create something big. As soon as I started thinking about private label, I knew I wanted it to be big. But the thing I managed well, and the thing that's most important, is time. And I'm super focused on how I spend my time and where I spend my time. Like, I have a 9 to 5, right? I have a job I have to be at certain times, and that is a block of time that I can't really use that often. I can sometimes do some things at work, but I know that's time that I can't really use for my business. So I was very focused on, okay, well, I wake up at 5 and I'll give myself a couple of hours every morning to work on my things that I need to work on. Generally, it's the Amazon stuff. And so the most important thing when you have a 9 to 5 is, A, know that you really want this. And if you do really want it, set aside time, schedule in time to work on things, because it's so easy to get caught up on life and you're stressed at work, whatever, something else is going on, you want to go out somewhere, you have to make sacrifices. Because think about this, if I'm competing against the number of other Amazon sellers who do this full time, I have 8, 9, 10 hours less a day to focus on my business. So what I think in my mind is, in the hours that I do have, I need to be 8 times more effective than them in that time. So what I do is, to put some really focused work in, is my phone goes on Do Not Disturb, I get my headphones on, I use Brain.fm, I don't know if you've ever heard about this tool. I'm into biohacking, and it's something that helps, it sends these binaural beats, they're called, into your brain that helps you focus. Whoa. And it's scientifically proven apparently, and it helps me. So I just put my noise cancelling headphones in, go in, and then knock out some work. I'm trying to be super effective in the time that I have.
Yeah, guys, if you want to ask Taz any specific questions, we'll probably do a live video in my Facebook group where we can do a Q&A. Are you down for that?
100%.
All right, so join my Facebook group in the description below, and maybe once everyone's in, we'll do a live Q&A. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up, and if you want to see the next one, subscribe. Taz, what do you want to leave us with?
Just, if you are thinking about getting to Amazon, if you're on the edge, just take the leap, have faith. There's amazing people around who want to help you, who want to see you succeed. So just give us a shout, we're here for you.
Yeah, and where can they find you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Taz_Ahsan, and right somewhere around here. And also, when my podcast is back up, please have a listen. It's called The Amazon Entrepreneur. You'll find it on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Go check it out. Taz is awesome, as you can see, and thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks, man.
Always. See you guys next time. Peace. I hope you liked this video. If you want more from Taz, make sure to check out his podcast. And if you want to see my story, click right here to see how Amazon FBA changed my life. That's a video that I did last year. And yeah, go click right here, check it out, and I'll see you there. Peace. So my first sale was like, this works. This actually works. I texted my friend, I'm like, yo, I sold an item. What? This is real. So I did retail arbitrage